Now, it's been a couple of years since Gina Carano was fired by Lucasfilm and by Kathleen Kennedy in the most unprofessional way possible, and it wasn't just them, it was also Disney that did this, and how they really had no real apology about it that was absolutely genuine and very much connected to the Star Wars fan base at the time. This is, by the way, what resulted in a lot of people canceling their Disney Plus subscription service. Everybody that I knew at the time, they canceled their Disney Plus when Gina Carano was fired, and a lot of people in their social circles were actually left to wonder, why am I still subbed to Disney Plus if they do something like this to this degree? This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know that Gina Carano has been a very, touchy subject over the past couple of years, ever since she was let go back in, March of 2021. It was right around that time, February to March. Those 2 months were very big for Gina. It was all about, adjusting her lifestyle because she was used to filming Mando Season 1 and 2. She expected to return in 3, and that all quickly fell apart once Kathleen Kennedy really did the worst thing, I believe, in all of Hollywood history, was by how she fired her in such a terrible way through social media. She just let it happen, and she knew exactly what was happening, with no real apology that was given in sight. Now, moving onwards, alright? We know that Gina Carano has been really giving Lucasfilm quite a dose of karma. Let's discuss. So, with Disney continuing to struggle with many of their business models, one major development has to do with Bob Iger and the board. However, one major sequence has to do with actress Gina Carano and what she recently did to Kathleen Kennedy. Specifically, both Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy have been begging for Gina to return for a big series called Rangers of the New Republic. As it turns out, this is a series that Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger were reviving that initially got canceled due to Gina's firing. The plan was to rehire her and place all bets on this being the biggest show yet that would bring back characters like Luke, Han, and Leia, as the show starts a day after the Battle of Endor, and was planned to make Cara Dune the main character again. Gina recently and of course completely declined the offer by Kathleen Kennedy and those at Lucasfilm, putting one of Lucasfilm's biggest budget TV shows to rest permanently and causing Kathleen Kennedy to go into full panic mode on what to do with Star Wars as a brand, as one big part of her ploy was to use Carano to win back many fans for Disney to gain millions of more subscribers. Now guys, let me just stop here quick before I get to the next big piece of this story, is that it's no surprise that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to use Gina Carano basically as a bargaining chip to really bring in a lot of fans and a lot of people that canceled their Disney Plus subscription back in 2021, which is the year that she was fired. And look, we already know that people like Kathleen Kennedy have no remorse about their actions, even if it gets worldwide backlash. This is what I like to call somebody who is very narcissistic, somebody that really holds no remorse to anybody that goes through such a hard time. We know that this deeply impacted Gina Carano on a personal level, to the point where she went on that interview and she really spilled her emotions. I mean, she got very emotional about the whole thing. And you know what? I really do respect her for standing up for herself, respecting herself, and declining this offer. No matter how much was being offered to her, she declined to return to Disney and pull the Johnny Depp. And the reason why I bring up Johnny Depp is a similar thing happened, and I know I brought this up multiple times, but she did a Johnny Depp scenario where Johnny Depp was fired from Pirates because of the whole Amber Heard situation, and after that was all resolved and everything was in Johnny's favor, Disney was begging for him to come back for Pirates 6 because they knew an all-female-led Pirates of the Caribbean film was just not going to work, and it fell apart quickly. That was the one, by the way, that was going to star Margot Robbie, and to be honest, I think it would have been the biggest woke disaster ever, and it would have just not worked. Let's just be honest here. It would have just never worked with the audience. It would have never connected with the general public, especially coming out of what you're used to with the initial 5 Pirates films, right? So moving onwards, let's get back onto Gina here. Now, on top of that, many of which that were lost after Gina's firings from the Mandalorian series, many subs actually canceled. Now, Kennedy even tried to double down as a producer and offer an even bigger payout deal for Gina Carano to accept, and regardless of the money in the big role for both Rangers and Dave Filoni's film, Gina shut down the increased payout offer after she already declined twice by Lucasfilm. This development rattled throughout Lucasfilm HQ, as now everyone is scrambling on what to do next now that the show is forever lost, and leaving Kathleen Kennedy clueless on where to go with Star Wars after the Acolyte series. This is now leaving Disney in a phase of desperation on recasting Cara Dune, which only drives more fans away as well. Now, look, if they do end up recasting Cara Dune, that's going to be a big L for Lucasfilm. It's only, like I said before, going to result in a wide range of people canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions. There's a lot of, even, older women, young kids that actually looked up to Gina Carano's Cara Dune. And when they figured out about what they did to her as an actress and the way that they did it, a lot of people didn't respect that. And I think a lot of people are going to respect things more for Gina now, given what she did to Kathleen Kennedy, what she did to Lucasfilm. I think it's the best karma in the film industry in a very long time, right up there with the status of what Johnny Depp did. I mean, I think that was the best karma of all time for Disney, getting back to them and just telling it like it is and shoving it in their face, essentially. And well deserved, much deserved. So anyway, we know that Rangers of the New Republic was going to be a massive show. They wanted to make it very much a high budget, the highest Star Wars TV show budget of all time so far. It was going to be very movie-like. They wanted to make it 10 episodes long, and they really wanted to center it. Like I told you guys before, one day after the Battle of Endor, it was going to meddle with the characters, and I say meddle with the characters of Luke, Han, and Leia. Not that they would be the main focus, but they would be popping in and out throughout the series because it would lead up to 1 year after the events of Return of the Jedi, leading into the final fall, or the overall failure of the Empire during the Battle of Jakku. So it was going to be all about leading up to those events. That's what the show is going to center on. So I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this whole Gina scenario, giving Lucasfilm some karma, giving Disney some karma, right up to that Johnny Depp level status. And yeah, guys, chime in below in the comments, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.